Hello, today is January 9th, 2021. We always start with our disclaimer. I've added something to it, so let's do that first. We always say it's my plan for the next trading day, and if we gap smartly, calls kill before the open. There's no guarantee I'm right. Every now and then I have to remind people that MEJT is a highly accurate system for predicting intra-day moves in the S&P 500 index. There have been numerous studies that have shown that top day traders lose on 70% of their trades. They just make more on their winners than they lose on their losers. And the top long-term market timers are wrong 30% of the time. These are the best people. In contrast, MEJT targets once generated will fail to print about 1/3% of the time. I have about 12,000 targets, and all but about 40 or so have printed. Now, usually the targets hit within 2 days, and not every target generates a trade, but that's a highly accurate system. But the system is not designed to predict overnight action. It doesn't predict trends lasting days, weeks, or longer. And because of that, many winning trades will be missed. The advantage of the system is the number of losing trades are very small. I got a couple of emails this week. How could I miss all these rallies and stuff? Well, my call at the end of last week was that the action of the first 1 to 2 days would be completely reversed by the action of the rest of the week. So it's poor timing to say I missed it. A number of people whose opinions I respect thought this week was going to be down. But the real reason I don't predict it is I don't have any system which is as accurate for overnight moves or longer term moves as MEJT is for intraday moves. I don't claim to be the top longer term market timer in the world at all. And even if I were going to make a wrong prediction 30% of the time, I frankly wouldn't do it. Now, if somebody knows someone else who can make predictions more accurate than this and makes a call every day and gives it away free, just let me know how to subscribe to his channel and I'll subscribe, because certainly intraday trading isn't the only way to make money. It's one way to make money. I don't even claim it's the most profitable way to make money. It's a way to make money. And if you follow the rules of the MEJT system, even if you don't make money, you should lose less. End of speech. Okay, well, the last call said this was a negative pattern, but that all we had to do to invalidate the pattern was to gap and promptly take out this high, and that shouldn't be too hard to do. I said if we didn't, you could justify a top, but it shouldn't be too hard to take this out. We gapped up, took it out, and that's what we had to do if you were a bull. What about Monday? Well, when you're dropping like this on a Friday and you undercut all these lows, it's pretty hard to reverse the trend. It's probably the least likely period of the week to reverse is the late Friday. Certainly retail customers, the public isn't anxious to chime in. If anything, the only ones willing to buy are the ones you have to buy. It's either institutions who have to be fully invested or people covering shorts. When you get a straight line move up like this on a Friday, reversing a strong decline, far more often than not, it's the real thing. And far more often than not, this rally extends when you open Monday. Now, if it doesn't extend, if you gap down smartly instead for the short term, it's pretty negative. But this just doesn't look like the way strong up moves end with a new all-time high on a Friday reversing a downtrend. You might have a short-term pullback Monday. It isn't impossible, although I think it's pretty unlikely. But the odds are pretty strong this isn't the end of the move. Even if we do drop Monday, which I'm not predicting, I think rallying is more likely. Even if that happens, I think we'll recover. Maybe not in a day, but it's some time. Well, this was a perfectly logical place for the rally to end. I think you have to have a stop someplace. I think if we go 1 cent past Friday's close, that should invalidate the pattern. If we drop right from the open, it's probably close enough, but you have to have a stop someplace. Now I'll make the stop 1 cent past Friday's close, but it probably already has been invalidated. Sentiment indicators still are at very extreme levels. Regardless, for all this charting business says, you can really have a drop starting any time, and they're as extreme as they are. Some places are more logical than others. I don't think this is a very logical place, although this would have been. The next place I have is around 39.20. You have a nice pattern here. Here are the fibs. But just because this pattern works, it doesn't mean other numbers aren't going to work. It's just the next number I'm looking for. Again, when you have sentiment levels this stretched, you can have a drop at any time, but it isn't a pinpoint timing indicator. We could go 100 handles higher. It wouldn't change anything. These are my calls for next week's high and lows. Monday's pattern has a early high. Doesn't mean you won't get down, although I think it's more likely we go up. Gapping down isn't impossible. Midday reversal on a Friday, which extends to a new all-time high, is most unlikely to mark the end of this leg up. Doesn't preclude dropping first, but almost always an established trend through Friday's close extends to Monday's open. If we gap down smartly instead, short term it's negative, although at some point I would expect us to recover. Sentiment indicators have been extended for some time now. Insiders aren't buying stock. All of the public is extremely positive on market prospects. They have high margin debt. All these are signs of frothiness. They're at levels compatible with a major top, but they're not pinpoint timing indicators. They've been saying caution for a few months, and we've still been going up. I think the most likely thing Monday, which is the pattern with the early high, is we continue going up even if we don't close higher. Gapping down smartly instead is far less likely, but it's short-term negative if it happens. But I don't think this is the end of this leg. And that's today's call.